Hey everyone, today we are going to be talking about evaluating algebraic expressions. To evaluate an expression, you are finding the value of the algebraic expression using order of operations after the variables have been replaced with numbers. This is just a little reminder over here of variables and multiplication. So what multiplication is going to look like in these expressions. Most commonly, we are going to see 5x. So 5 times x is a number directly next to a variable. There may be a multiplication symbol in between it, and then we are actually going to use parentheses to do all of our substituting or all of our replacing. So you're going to see 5 and then parentheses, something on the inside, and then we close our parentheses. So in example 1, we're evaluating one-step algebraic expressions. So for one-step algebraic expressions, that means that there is one number and one operation that you are completing, and then it could include numbers and variables, and then they're going to tell you what the value of the variable is. So for number 1, it says evaluate the expression 16 plus b if b equals 25. So I'm going to take this 25 and I'm going to put it in for b. So my first line is going to be 16 plus 25. And then once I've got those numbers both in there, or in this case, the one number in the expression, I can just go ahead and add. So this is going to be 41. For number 2, you can see that I have two variables, x minus y. So I'm going to take 64 and put it in for x, and I'm going to take 27 and put it in for y. So my expression on the first line is going to be 64 minus 27, and then I'm just going to follow order of operations. Well, the only operation I had to do is subtract. So 64 minus 27 is 37. For number 3, 6x means 6 times x. So I'm going to evaluate for when x equals 1/2. So I'm going to take this 1/2 and I'm going to put it in for x. There's a couple different ways that you can write this. The way that I am going to write it is I'm going to say 6, and then I'm going to put parentheses 1/2. So I'm going to substitute that value in parentheses or replace the x in the expression with parentheses. So 6 times 1/2 is going to be 3. Evaluate 2/3 x if x is 9/10. So again, I'm going to take this 9/10 and I'm going to put it in for x. So this is going to be 2/3, and again, I'm going to use parentheses 9/10. And here I'm actually going to cross cancel. So I'm going to do 1 and 5, and this is going to be 1 and 3. So my answer is 3/5. In number 5 here, you can see 5 times b, so I know that it's multiplication. So this is going to be 5 times 4. And 5 times 4 is 20. Again, I'm replacing that variable with the number. Example 2, it says evaluating multi-step algebraic expressions. So step 1 says replace each variable with the correct value. Step 2 says use the order of operations to find the value of the expression. So you can see that my expressions are a little bit longer and they have more variables to replace. So the first thing I'm going to do in my first line is going to be all of my replacing. So I'm going to keep these parentheses. I'm going to put 4 in for x. So 5 times 4 minus 4 times y is 1/2 divided by, and then again in parentheses, 3 squared. When you are replacing a variable that has an exponent, please put that variable inside parentheses, because we talked about the difference between a negative inside and a negative outside. For positives, it doesn't make as much of a difference, but for negatives, it does matter. Now I'm going to do my order of operations. So my order of operations tells me to go inside my parentheses first. So I'm going to have 20 minus 4 times 1/2 divided by 3 squared. Again, that 3 squared in parentheses. Then I'm going to have 20 minus 2 divided by 3 squared. And then I'm going to have 18 divided by 3 squared, and then 18 divided by 9, and 18 divided by 9 is 2. So again, following order of operations after I have substituted those values. So the only new piece is this very first line right here, where I was substituting those values in. So in number 2, it says x over 4. So I'm going to have 12 over 4 plus 2 times, and then y squared. So 7 squared minus 3 times z is 8. Then I close my parentheses. In order of operations, I go to the inside of my parentheses first, and then I'm going to do the exponent. I don't know why I scribbled on that. So I'm going to do my exponent here first. So 12 over 4 plus 2 times 49 minus 3 times 8. And then inside my parentheses, I have multiplication. So 12 over 4 plus 2 times 49 minus 24. So then 12 over 4 plus 2 times 25 after I subtract. 12 over 4 is the same as 12 divided by 4, so that's going to be 3 plus 2 times 25. And then it's going to be 3 plus 50, so 53. That was one line short. And again, the only new piece that I added was substituting those values into the expression. So on the back here, I've got a few more with some fractions. So this says evaluate 5t plus 4. So t is 3. So 5 times 3 plus 4. So 15 plus 4 is 19. 4x squared is going to be 4 times 1/8 squared. 1/8 squared is going to be 1 over 64. And then I can cross cancel and I get 1 over 16. 10 times a is going to be 10 times 1/5 plus 7. And then I can cross cancel here as well. So this is going to be a 2. This is going to be a 1. So 2 plus 7 is 9. And then 10b, so 10 times b is 4 over 5. Minus 2 times 3. So I'm going to cross cancel again. This is going to be a 2. This is going to be a 1. So 8 minus 2 times 3 is 8 minus 6. And 8 minus 6 is 2. On these last ones, just a little bit more complicated with the fractions, remembering to cross cancel, all of those good things. But again, still just following the order of operations. So doing the exponent first instead of the multiplication, or making sure that you multiply by the fractions first before you do addition or subtraction. So that is the end of today's evaluating. We're just going to practice being able to put values in and then simplify using order of operations, and then we'll get more complicated as we go and throw those negative values in there as well.